How would you react to somebody stealing your one-way ticket to stardom? Would you go after them and try to make it right? Would you give up on all your hopes and dreams? Walt Disney did neither of these. Instead, he made the most iconic cartoon character of all time, Mickey Mouse. As a young boy, Walt Disney was always talented at cartoon characters or drawing or just doodles. And according to the Disney archives, Walt Disney started selling his drawings as young as the age of 7 to his neighbors. Once he got into high school, he quickly formed a knack for photography and drawing, and so he actually became the photographer and cartoonist for the school newspaper. And he studied those skills at the fine art school of Kansas City at night after his regular high school days were over. And so after high school, he moved on and went to World War One to serve as a chauffeur for the Red Cross. And once he came back from the war, he got in with the local newspaper in Kansas City as a cartoonist, of course. And here is where he met Ub Iwerks, and the two became inseparable since that point. Disney and Iwerks actually took their chance after forming their alliance and said they were going to move out to Hollywood to live with Walt Disney's brother, Roy, who already lived there. And according to Walt, all he had in his pocket was 40 bucks and a dream. And once they got to Hollywood, they quickly tried to make that dream come true by contacting Margaret Winkler, who was a film producer in New York and also a backer of films. And they sent her a proposal to do some short films about Alice in Wonderland and also short films about a cartoon character that Walt had created that was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And once Oswald made the big screen, he was an instant hit and gained instant popularity all across New York where the film was being shown. And as his popularity grew, Walt and his wife Lillian actually went across country from Hollywood to New York to watch the film and asked for higher profit rates. But instead, he got the biggest slap in the face of all time. Winkler and her husband had hired away all of Walt's workers silently and secretly, so now they had all the property and all the drawings and all of that Walt, Roy, and Iwerks had, and they actually got the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So Disney was left with zero, and so you can imagine how he felt about that. And so as Lillian and Walt got back on the train towards Hollywood, Lillian recalled Walt's reaction by saying he was a raging lion in a cage. And this fit of rage is what would create Mickey Mouse for Walt Disney. Walt Disney recalled sitting on the train and thinking over all the animals and all the other cartoons that are already being circulated at this time, and everything was taken. But all he could think about, he says, the only thing that was left was the mouse. And so, right then and there, he grabbed a piece of paper from the train and started doodling a rough sketch of this mouse with big round ears and these shorts with these two big buttons on them. And from that little doodle on the train came Mickey Mouse. And once he got back to Hollywood with his brother Roy and Iwerks, those three sat down, and Iwerks kind of made a better sketch, more refined rather than something you just do on a train. And from there, they created Mickey Mouse and quickly started making films with Mickey as the main star. The first film ever made of Mickey was called Plane Crazy. And nobody really knows this film because it was actually never released. And the reason it was never released to the public, that is because sound was introduced into film right when the film Plane Crazy was finished. And so Walt knew there was no reason to send out his new character with, yesterday's technology, I guess you could say. And so they actually put that off to the side, and Walt quickly got to work on what would come to be known as Steamboat Willie. And Mickey made his big screen debut on November 18th, 1928, in Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie was a national hit because it was the first fully sound synchronized film on the big screen, and everybody thought that was incredible. And so from then on, Mickey has become the national icon that everybody knows today. And it's all because Walt Disney had the biggest slap in the face of all time from people trying to steal his ideas. And we have Mickey Mouse.